My name is Michael Mansfield, and I'm standing in the elections in October for Cambridge University Chancellorship. Now, the importance of this election is that they're very rare. There's not going to be another one, I wouldn't think, for another 10 or 20 years, and therefore your opportunity to make a difference only comes round now and again. Now, why does it matter this time? Well, I've been a lawyer for 42 years practicing in civil rights, human rights, and one of the most basic rights, which the government and previous government seems to have overlooked, is the right to education and the right of access, fair access to education, and the provision of free education at all levels. Now, that is all enshrined in Article 13 of an international covenant which the United Kingdom is a party to. Originally, it went through the United Nations in 1966, so a long time. Now, there is a threat to that right, and a threat to education generally and the principles of education that is happening right now. What is the threat? It is a threat to independence of universities on admissions and their ability to take a broad range of people and to teach a broad range of subjects. And that threat comes in two ways, but basically it's an economic one. The two ways are, firstly, governments cut 80% in some cases, big cuts, to funding. Secondly, it's introducing this concept, which I think is totally unreasonable, not fit for purpose, of the cut and thrust of competition is now to be introduced into the academic marketplace. So those two concepts put together mean that universities are now considering two proposals. One is, of course, tuition fees go up, £9,000, supposed to be an exception, but we now know it's almost the rule from the Office of Fair Access statistics last week, namely that a third of all universities are charging the maximum and 3/5 of a lot of courses are also being charged the maximum. Who's going to afford this? 9,000 when the average or median wage in the United Kingdom at the moment is 22,000, and even with given certain reductions they won't come down much below 8,000. Impossible. So it's immediately going to strike at the heart of a broad spectrum of people eligible to go to university. The second thing they're doing is in fact privatizing the academic market, by which they're going to raise money through privatization, through a market economy in which businesses are already beginning the object of management, but also course providers. It's going to be impossible to guarantee, therefore, that courses in future may not be influenced, even in their subject matter, by those who are coughing up the money. So it seems to me that the combination of these two provide a real threat that has to be resisted. Cambridge, right at the top, the pinnacle university, should be in the vanguard of resistance to these policies. And I would like the opportunity to represent Cambridge in relation to this resistance. Because that, as I say, is something I've been used to doing in relation to other issues, whether it's legal aid or, in fact, the educational forum itself. Now, if you want to hear more or want to see more about what I'm keen to advocate, you will find details on my website, my Chamber's website, Tooks, Tooks, and you'll find it in terms of my CV and also a fuller statement than this. Thank you for listening.